I'm a pretty experienced woodworker, but when it came to building a picture frame, I had lots of trouble getting all 8 miters to fit perfectly. But that's all behind me now, thanks to this miter sled. Using this sled for the first time ever, I assembled a perfect picture frame with 0 recuts in about 10 minutes. Let me show you how to build your own miter sled. These runners slide in the miter gauge slots to keep the sled square to the blade. On top of the table, these stacked factory corners are what you hold the stock against to actually make the miter cuts. You make one miter on the left side and its matching miter on the other side. That way, if one miter is not perfectly 45 degrees, the other side makes up for it. The only things you'll need is some wood glue and a couple of paint cans and a 2-foot by 4-foot sheet of 3/4 inch material. I used MDF for my sled, but you can also use plywood or even particle board as well. I won't be using a guard, so you can see what's going on here. Plus, it's nearly impossible to use a guard while using the sled. But if you keep the blade below the level of the fence top, it's pretty safe to use. I've cut the sheet into a 2-foot by 2-foot piece for the table and a 16-inch by 16-inch piece for the fence. Use the waist to make 2-foot long runner strips that are just a little taller than the miter slot depths and wide enough that they slide smoothly in the slots without any slop. Set the rip fence to 12 inches. Place the runners in the slots and line up the ends with the edge of the saw table. Spread glue on the runners and push the table against the fence while you lower it onto the runners. Rest a couple of paint cans on the table and walk away for 10 minutes until the glue sets. Make a pass about 1/3 of the way through the table to create a saw curve. Draw a line across 2 corners on the 16-inch fence piece to mark for gluing. Then apply the glue and rest it in place, lining up 3 of the corners with the saw curve and the rear of the sled. Rest a paint can on the wood and fine-tune the corners and let it sit for 10 minutes. Cut off the back of both pieces, lifting the table slightly so the runner clears the saw table. Glue on the last piece, carefully aligning the edges with the one below it. This sled will be ready for cutting miters 10 minutes from now, and all it took was 45 minutes and $10 worth of wood.